I'm in the corner. I'm trying to show my screen, and instead you just, how do I show this? Let's see. I'll be in the corner. I'll show you how dumb I am with technology. I couldn't care less. I literally couldn't care less. Everyone is hitting me up. We're just going to do it like this. You know, I have zero time for second question, zero time to make sure that technology is right. What you guys have to understand is that every single day right now, from 4 a.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern, you should be glued to your fucking screen because there are 100% runners, 200% runners, 500% runners, 1,000% runners, 5,000% runners. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether you know your tech settings. It doesn't matter whether someone says you have to go outside and see the sunlight. Tell them to shut up. All of you who are asking me all these questions that I've already answered in webinars and DVDs and video lessons that you haven't watched, I'm telling you guys to shut up so that you can focus on these hot plays. Now, how many of you profited on OCTO today or SNTG or CIGL? There were three giant runners, three. And now even after hours, ZONE just spiked from the 3s to the 9s while I was trying to set this freaking webinar up. Tell me the good news, guys. Oh, so many students to congratulate. And this is the thing, like, I'm going to keep this here because it's A, it's funny that I don't know how to work the technology. B, it doesn't matter. Okay. Everyone wants everything to be so perfect. Oh, you want to buy at the right time. You want to sell at the right time. You want technology to work. You want like the market to just wait for your schedule. None of that matters. Okay. So I'm going to keep this ugly webinar up here just so that you can understand. At least you can see me and you can hear me and I can get through to you. That was the whole point. I used to go live on Instagram. Maybe that was better. I don't have time to restart my browser or any of this crap that this software wants to do. I want you to focus right now. Okay. Can you focus? Type in the word FOCUS if you can focus. Okay, you guys need to focus and you need to tell everyone else in your life to shut up and go away because this is the time to really learn and to really earn. And if I could show you my screen, I'm pretty pumped about some students. Just last week, Stratty crossed 1 million. Today, he made another 8,000. Sean in the challenge chat room just crossed 500,000. I saw there were so many people. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. You know, Roland Sousa, if you guys follow me on Twitter, Roland, you can see all my tweets. Roland just said, you know, surprise, this works. Check-ins at 4 a.m., 24/7, weekends and holidays, 3K plus in the last 2 trading days. Turned around a net loss into showing profits. No one else is doing that for me. I am a Tim Sykes challenge student for life. I'm very happy to help you, Roland, if you're tuning in. What you guys need to understand, yes, I've been trading for 25 years. No, I'm not a perfect trader. You know, yes, I did nail OCTO pre-market on the breakout at $5 a share, but I sold it in the mid sixes. It went to 80. So when you see like, oh, Tim Sykes has made $8 million and you think, oh, that's never going to happen to me. That's best case scenario. I am a pittance of what's possible. Jack Kellogg has already made triple what I've made. Tim Bertani has made double what I've made. I've got 50 millionaire students publicly. There's closer to like 65 or 70 now. Some people don't want to be public. Some people are embarrassed to, you know, have learned from DVDs or video lessons or webinars or God forbid, you know, learning about day trading, penny stocks. It's so evil. All of that crap doesn't matter. What is important is that you can do this. Jack Kellogg, Stratty, Clay just joined us in Boston the other day to celebrate Stratty crossing 1 million. Omer just crossed over 1 million. We've got Don Juan at what? shoot, I'm sorry, Don Juan. What are you at? Like 800,000, I think. J Ray's at 700,000. Sean is now over 500,000. Like any single one of you can do this. And the reason why I highlight the millionaire student after millionaire student is that guess what? We're just real. That's why I'm not even going to bother trying to mess with the technicals of this webinar. At least you can hear me and I can get through to you. That's the main point. I'm not even supposed to give a webinar today. I'm giving a challenge webinar later in the week. But the reason why I wanted to go live right now is just because guess what? There's so many plays every single day. So by the time I give my webinar on Thursday, there's going to be more plays on Tuesday. There's going to be more plays on Wednesday. And my webinar isn't until after hours. So Thursday, day 2. But also, can you wake up early? Be realistic with me. How early can you guys wake up? Because, type in 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern. You tell me what's realistic. Then don't lie. I'm not going to hold you to this. But what time can you reasonably wake up? I've been in Europe, so I've had a huge advantage. Connie can do 4 a.m. Andrew can do 4 a.m. Ruth, Monica, John's. And that's the thing too. Some of you, it doesn't have to just be 4, 5, 6 a.m. I mean, if you want to, wake up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., Evan Shunk, one of my millionaire students, he lives in LA and he's waking up at 12:45 a.m. Eastern because he wants to be up for 12:45 p.m. Pacific. Sorry, 12:45 a.m. Pacific. So before 1 a.m., he's waking up, meaning he's going to bed at like 8 or 9 p.m., feeling like crap, trading for a few hours and then going back to bed. He's over $1 million this year. Like it's just a question of who wants it. And as Stratty said, Stratty doesn't want to wake up, and Stratty just crossed over $1 million. And he's like, you know what? There's more than enough plays during regular hours. And I agree with that. I was texting him about OCTO. I'm not, in Boston with him. It was just weird timing coincidence that I was going to be there right when he crossed $1 million. But I was texting him this morning, OCTO, did you see it? He wasn't even up. And I texted him when it was like at $7 or $8 a share. And then it went to 80. It went to 80. Okay. So if you can wake up early, do it. But Stratty isn't wrong. There are going to be plenty of plays throughout the trading day. Part of the reason why I'm like rubbing my eyes is I'm exhausted right now. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern. But the market is still open until 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're seeing some big spikers. OCTO, I didn't even see what OCTO was down to. OCTO finished down to 40, hit a high of 80. So again, shorts aren't wrong that these are crap companies and that they're going to fade, and most of them do fade, but the shorts cannot reasonably guesstimate how high these go. And I heard some stories about several shorts losing not just 5 or 6 figures, not even just 7 figures, but 8 figures today. Not that the short sellers are going to admit it, because shorts are shadier than promoters ever were. And that's probably why these stocks are spiking higher than they ever were. What's the best time? Pacific time. I mean, guys, it's up to you. Okay. Like, I'm not saying it's fun to wake up early. I hate waking up early. Ever since I got back to the US, I have trouble waking up before 5 a.m. Eastern. My whole day is off. I'm like pounding matchas and coffees. I'm trying my best, but it's tough. It's tough waking up so early. Those of you in Europe, I mean, I should have many more European students, but I think Europe, they're just not good at business. Like, I'll just lump the whole continent in together and say that they suck at business. If you look at the number of, multi-billion-dollar companies, if you look at the number of entrepreneurs, if you look at like the number of successful traders, I just don't see many coming out of Europe. They just don't want it bad enough. They just, want to live well and like, drink and live slower. That's fine. I mean, I love going to Europe to do what they do, but I get sick of it after a while. Like I have like this, red American blood pumping that makes me want more out of life. Call me crazy. But again, like you have to understand, I'm filming this, today's September 8th, 2025. Right now, pre-market plays are on fire. I mean, if I could show you my screen, maybe you're looking at charts too, but OCTO spiked up big. Really 7 a.m. Eastern is when it started. It was a $5 stock. And by 10 a.m., so 7 to 10 a.m., it was $5 a share to $50 a share, 10 times your money in 3 hours. Okay. And it's tough if you want to catch it later, like you don't want to chase it. You feel bad that you missed the big part of the run up. That's just tough. So let me see. How do I go bigger? Whoa, look at that. I'm clicking different buttons. Did that just work? Am I bigger on screen now? I felt bad that I was so tiny on the left side, but again, it really just doesn't matter. I'm not that smart. I'm not that good at math. I'm not best case scenario. I want you to understand that. Throw out any questions, by the way, guys. The whole reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to be prepared. I want you guys to really capitalize on these plays, even if you're trading with a small account. Some people are like, oh, Sykes, you only highlight your millionaire students. I have $1,000 account, $2,000 account. Guess what? All of my millionaire students and myself included, once upon a time, just had a few $1,000s to our name. So don't feel like, oh, you have to trade big and know everything. That's not realistic. What's realistic is that, whether you have a small account or a big account, we all start somewhere and we're all watching the same stocks. But you got to use this crazy volatility to help grow your small account, trading wise and knowledge wise. I always say you have two accounts. Never forget that, your trading account and your knowledge account. And this is another thing too. We have this new thing, Trade Funder. If you look below, there's a link, which Matt and Bryce go live every day. I just hijacked their link, but we're working with Trade Funder now, and they can help increase your capital. So, if there's a play like Octo and you're trading with a small ass account, and even if you're feeling good, you don't have the capital to really capitalize, use Trade Funder. Try to, use more capital, and Trade Funder has a bunch of different advantages too. Andrew says he started out with 11K this month and now up over 25,000. Awesome. Everyone congratulate Andrew. I love it. Ruth just started her Trade Funder. Paulette started with a $2,000 account. That's fine. Jose just doubled his small account on OCTO. You see, there's such a wide variety of students. There's a wide variety of traders. I'm very blessed to probably speak to more traders, diverse wise group of traders, not just institutions, not just short sellers. Short sellers usually only talk with short sellers. Institutional traders only talk with institutional traders. I talk with everybody. I don't discriminate. And I'll tell you that this industry, yeah, it's shady. Yeah, most traders lose. Yeah, there's a lot of mines that you have to watch out for and grenades. But if you just focus on the upside potential, I don't know of any other industry where you can literally make this much money so quickly from anywhere in the world. You don't need an office. You don't need a fancy degree. Your background doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. It doesn't matter what kind of, background you have, with your family being, raised in the gutter of the Philippines or, Indonesia or Nepal. Shout out to Hark, my Nepali student. He's probably sleeping right now, but Hark has been nailing it if you follow me on Twitter. And it's okay if you lose. It's okay if you blow up a small account. This is why I always say trade small in the beginning. Even people like Kyle Williams, Kyle Williams is now over $7 million. One of my millionaire students, I went to his wedding. His mom included me in the wedding speech. Blew my mind. Didn't know it was going to happen. And she thanked me in front of all the wedding guests, which was pretty cool. I have another millionaire student. Shout out to Jack Daniel. He's getting married in a few weeks. 5 weeks. I'm going to his wedding. And also I went to Matt Monaco's wedding, went to Evan Shunk's wedding. I love going to weddings, student weddings, not just random weddings. But Kyle Williams, going back to what I was thinking, he blew up his first, I think, 3 or 4 accounts, losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 at a time. But that's what you have to do. You have to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Everyone wants perfection from the beginning. Jack Kellogg is now over $21 million. He's on fire with his 2 plays, UNH and RR right now. He's just swing trading. He's up, 6-7 figures on each of them now. And guess what? He lost $10,000 his first 18 months. he didn't have access to as many, video lessons and webinars. And when he started with me in 2017, I think I had like 6 or 7 millionaires. Now I've got literally 10 times as much millionaires, and there's a better path for you guys. You can learn from the other millionaires. We have all these new AI tools, and the market, I think, is frankly just crazier. You mentioned Zone in the chat so quickly. I didn't see an alert. How'd you grab it so quickly? I just look at big percent gainers all the time. Zone literally spiked, and I wish I could share my screen. I'll be better prepared next time I do this. This is my first time using this software. Zone spiked from 360 at 405 up to 920 at 407. So, some people are like, come on, Tim, alert that. By the time I'm even finished alerting it, like even writing it, let alone the email or text message getting delivered to you, the thing will have already tripled. So you have to learn to spot this stuff on your own. And it comes down to, looking at big percent gainers nonstop throughout the day, after hours, pre-market. It's all about looking for these big runners. That's how I found Octo pre-market, I'm looking also after hours right now. What is this? We got another runner, GP. GP is a big percent gainer, up 270%. It just doesn't stop, guys. It literally doesn't stop. GP spiked from at 4 p.m. It was trading at $3.20. It just hit $10 a share. So this is why I'm coming to you, where there's so many plays every single hour, and you don't have to trade all of them. You don't have to worry about catching the bottom and catching the top and all of them. I just want you watching them and seeing if you see an opening. Stratty just made more on CIGL today than he did on Octo. He missed Octo, and then he didn't want to chase it, but he felt good about CIGL. We were together on Friday in Boston, both trading CIGL, and now, he's crushing it. He did better than me. Where do you find the big percent gainers? What do you mean by STT? Is it in FinViz? No, not FinViz, Stocks to Trade. Can someone link stockstotrade.com in the chat window below? I want you guys to use Stocks to Trade because not only for the charts, there's a million different charting programs, but Stocks to Trade has Stocks to Trade breaking news in it. One of the tabs that you can open is Stocks to Trade breaking news. And it's 2 ex-hedge fund analysts who are running this all day, and they're just looking for actionable pieces of news. Can we link Stocks to Trade in here? Do they allow links? I don't even know how this works. Stockstotrade.com. There you go. One of my favorite trading books, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, about Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders of all time. He also, used too much leverage. It blew up his trading account, and then also blew his brains out too. So one of the greatest traders of all time blew up and committed suicide. If that's not a warning, I don't know what is. There's so many different tools though. Like books are good, but like now you have AI tools. I would use XGPT. I would use Iris. I would watch, Matt and Bryce at the market open every day. They're literally streaming every day right at the market open. I would use my own challenge webinars. I would use my Sykes sliding scale, my 7-step framework. I would watch my trader checklist guide. There's so many different things. Someone says trading is the same as gambling. Yeah, but it's prepared gambling. Like, it's really researched, and it's not like random. Some people are like, oh, Tim, you have thousands of students. It's inevitable that some of them will be millionaires. But it's not like a roulette wheel where you just, throw a ball around the little circle and like some people are going to become millionaires and some people aren't. Like this isn't the Hunger Games. It's skill-based. All of my millionaire students, guess what? Like Jack Kellogg might be over 20 million now, but like last year he was at 15 million. The year before he was at 10 million. The year before he was like at 3 million. So it's adding gains up monetarily and again, knowledge gains. And, most of my millionaire students are in their 20s. Like they're going to be beasts in their 30s and 40s. Like you think I have a lot of millionaire students now. If they stick with it in the next like 5 to 10 years, I'm going to have like dozens of students who have made over $100 million. And some people are like, oh, your challenge is expensive. It's a few $1,000s. And I'm like, do you realize the upside potential? No, you don't, because most people in this industry are scams. Ay, ay, ay. And then he says pump and dump. Yes, there are pump and dumps out there. Who cares? Trade the pump and dumps. I mean, freaking Eric Jackson is pumping up open. He said that he was working the phones all weekend long. I was like, you go, Eric. Keep it up, man. Like, that's Wolf of Wall Street style, working the phones. So whether you want to hate on the pumps, whether you want to hate on the promoters, I don't. I'm grateful for every promoter. Just like short sellers, people think I hate on short sellers. I warn about short sellers. I think that they're toxic. I think that they're shadier than promoters everywhere, but I'm also grateful for them. Just like I'm grateful for every new promoter, I'm grateful for every other short seller. I don't want short sellers to blow up and lose all their money. I want short sellers to have bigger bankrolls so they can create bigger squeezes. I think in the last 6 months, we've seen the biggest short squeezes that I've ever seen. When did Zone hit my watch list? Right when it was a big percent gainer. I'm looking at big percent gainers on Stocks to Trade nonstop. Okay. Anthony says Octo is a pump and dump, go long and dump short. I mean, I think it's more of a short squeeze than a pump and dump, right? Like a lot of short sellers thought that it was overvalued in the 10s and 20s. So they're shorting and they're like, oh, this thing is up from the 3s to the 20s. This is such a gimme. And then they get squeezed 30, 40, 50. Then they're shorting more at 50 and they're like, this is crazy. This has to go down. And it doesn't. And then they get squeezed to 80. So, really watch my new Supernova guide. I don't know if we can link that in here, but even if you can't link it in here, I mean, you could just Google Tim Sykes Supernova guide. That came out a few months ago. Shout out to Terry. He is our first Tim Sykes Inner Circle student, over $100,000. And I think he just had a $70,000 swing. So he's up like $170,000 and he loves the Supernova guide. Do I have any Bitcoin? No, I don't do any crypto. I have so many imposters. They all do crypto. So I'm not allowed to do any crypto. Some people think like, oh, I know how you make your money. You're scamming people with crypto. No, I don't do any crypto. It's sad. Real Jim Smith says he hates stop hunters. Is that me? Am I a stop hunter? Because I'm looking for short sellers and their stops and I'm looking to hunt them? I mean, that's just a trading strategy. Terry in the house. Terry's in the house and he made 12K today. Good job, Terry. What are you up now total? Are you up? What? Did you lock in that swing for 70,000? So are you up 180,000? That's freaking awesome. Best studying advice for truck drivers. Don't study while you're driving. I don't want any truck driver or any like train operator or boat operator to like be studying my stuff as you're driving. And then you get into an accident and then the last thing playing is like one of my DVDs. Pull over, do not operate heavy machinery when you're studying my stuff. Okay, that's my best advice. But study whenever you can. It doesn't matter whether you're a truck driver or a garbage collector or a chef or a personal trainer or an Uber driver. What's the success rate of Oracle? I have no idea. I don't know success rates of anything because I can't keep up with you guys. I'm focused on trading myself. I donate all my trading profits to charity, and I'm focused on creating content for you guys. I can't control your trading. I can't control how much or how little you guys study. Frankly, I don't care about what the success rate is. I know if you take it seriously, your success will boom, just like all my millionaire students. But I can't study for you. Life gets in the way, the market changes. This isn't an exact science. So some people are like, oh, I only want to study if it's guaranteed. Well, you're guaranteed to lose if you don't study. How about that? That's my guarantee. Atik says, make me your next millionaire student. Well, you just got to study. I mean, none of my millionaire students and I knew each other. It wasn't like I knew Jack. I know we're both from Connecticut. We look alike. Some people were like, oh, you gave him the money. I didn't give him anything. I gave him the lessons and then he took it. And he's made triple what I've made in half the time. Zaco Tacos has been studying day and night, working on my process. Good. Just don't burn out too. Okay. Like I said, Jack might be over 20 million, but he lost 10 grand after 18 months. He took 3 months off from trading while he was studying, seeing other challenge students succeed. That's the thing. Like if you ever want to take a day off or a week off or a month off, do it. Whatever you need to do, the market is always going to be there. I don't suggest taking days off right now just because of how many good plays there are. I would be pissed if I missed Octo today. Just not even trading it. I mean, I only made like a little over 1,000 on it. It's not even that much money, but I really got a lot of education out of it. And that gave me the, confidence to trade other supernovas. And then tomorrow we're going to look for something that looks like similar to Octo. So I hope you wake up. Stephanie says, it's up to you. How bad do you want it? Exactly. That's what it comes down to. You had fun watching Octo. Big news on IVVD with hedge fund king Steve Cohen. Yeah, I mean, I saw Steve Cohen invested in IVVD the other day. So I don't know if you think it's breaking news right now, but IVVD didn't really do anything. Steve Cohen isn't what he used to be. I had a good talk with him a few years back. He's a really good guy. Great charity that he founded to help with PTSD for soldiers. But he's no Peter Thiel right now. Peter Thiel is like got the hot hand if you want to follow billionaires. What kind of stuff do you mean by study? Well, I have 10,000 plus video lessons now. So that's quite a few videos. I've got like 15 DVDs, 3 books, the Supernova guide. Jack Kellogg has a guide. He just came out with his guide. Jack Kellogg just opened a Roth IRA last year. And in 18 months, he's turned the 10K into like 5 million, and he made a guide about it. So it's not just me, it's also students. Chaos Ridden Soul says, kicking my ass for not taking OCTO. When I looked down, it was in the mid 3s. But it's okay. Like, this is the thing, guys. It's okay to miss a trade, and it's okay to want to kick yourself and be angry, because guess what? There's going to be another opportunity. Remember this. Part of your education includes missing trades. Part of your education includes like getting stopped out and then the play runs without you. This all is part of your education. It's not the fun parts of your education, but it's a crucial part of your education. Losses are part of the education. Missed trades are part of the education. You probably need like 20 missed trades so that you will then realize, oh shit, this is real. I should take it seriously. I can tell you to take it seriously, but you don't believe me. There's a million guys on the internet saying they have like the magic bullet. I live by my trades. I live by these patterns every single day. It's okay if you doubt me. It's okay if I lose. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm, barely up 6 figures this year. I've been trading like crap personally, but that's not my priority. I don't really have time to work on my own trading. You guys have the luxury of time to work on your own trading. I'm too busy trying to give you guys the tools and the lessons that I think are necessary, and my own trading takes a back seat in terms of priority. Just going to be real with you. Dave says, I made 26%. A couple days later, I made 186%, but I see where your training can take me. Good. And that's the thing. Like, take one single, buy 10 shares, buy 50 shares. It's not just about how much money you can make. It's seeing is believing. A lot of you guys, I saw in comments all over the internet, I've never seen a play like OCTO. Maybe this was statistically the biggest supernova recently, but we've seen dozens of plays very similar. I mean, BM&R is the company that invested in OCTO, and BM&R went from like 5 to 160 in a few days. So don't say that this has never happened before. Do you have any strictly technical patterns? How do you trade them differently? Look at my 7-step framework. Google Timothy Sykes 7-step framework. There's 7 specific steps that I look for, whether it's breaking news or anything. Look at that. David Paulson bought 20 shares OCTO in at 20.68, got out at 42. Happy with the trade. Awesome job. Everyone give David Paulson a round of applause. That's awesome. He doubled his money on 20 shares. Next year, David Paulson will remember, or should remember, this kind of a trade. Next month, next year, buy 200 shares. Whenever something like this happens again, and then guess what? 2 years from now, you buy 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares instead of 20 shares on the same pattern, you would have made $40,000 today. That's when it starts to get fun. That's the beauty of trading. It's all about sizing up later on, but don't size up in the beginning, and you have to get your confidence early on. Jeff says, if I gave you a fully grown female African elephant and you couldn't sell it or give it away, what would you do with it? I don't know what I would do. I work with elephant charities. I know it's a lot of work. It's very expensive to help an elephant. Shout out to Elephant Nature Park in Thailand. I still owe them a mini documentary. I'm behind on that. And shout out to Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya. I donated $50,000 to them. So leave it to the professionals, I would say. Christy says, Octo was an amazing learning experience. Been trading with Tim for years, but something finally clicked today. That's all it takes. Seeing is believing. And it's okay. I have doubters. I have haters. I get it. I trade penny stocks. People think that there's all these conspiracy theories, but it's really just one supernova at a time. And it's a question of how ready are you to capitalize. David Paulson doubled his money on 20 shares. Fast forward, I'm really excited for you, David. Like, fast forward 3 years from now, hopefully you'll have more knowledge, a bigger account. Same trade, 2,000 shares. Same trade, 5,000 shares. You wonder how, like, Jack Kellogg is now making $1 million in a day sometimes. He's taking bigger size. He's got the experience. He's got the account size. But early on, Jack Kellogg, long before he had 20 million in his account, you go and look at his early trades, just like Tim Grittani, they were plus or minus $100 on the day. Mohammed says, what is your focus? Short, long, small cap? I want to know what you teach, mainly short or long. I only go long, Mohammed. I used to short. I made millions shorting, but I think shorting is very dangerous, as evidenced by short sellers today on Octo. I don't short sell. I don't recommend short selling right now. More questions. Sorry, I didn't see Terry's follow-up. I know Terry was up like 170,000. What is his update? Did he update? Terry just said in the house in 12K today. Good. Luigi says, you've inspired me. Unfortunately, I have a hard time with stop losses. Confusing. I don't personally use hard stops. I use mental stops. So, if a play is not going well, I just cut it. I just cut it right before I started this webinar with CIGL. It wasn't bouncing the way that I thought, the way that it ran on Friday. I thought it might run again on Friday, like it did on Friday. I missed the big run up on CIGL. I'm pulling up an intraday chart that you can't see from 530 up to 750. Stratty is the one who nailed it today. But CIGL is tough because it runs so quick. You get a huge spike and then nothing. Oh, I'm looking at another runner right now. STEC is up 321%. Can't even catch my breath. Look at this. This started at 4:20 p.m. The stock was under $1 a share and it just hit 350. STEC is the ticker. So legit, we had Zone spike big. We had CIGL spike big. We had SNTG spike big. SNTG hit 1270 on the day. It's down to 650. It's down 50%. So, if you guys ever think like, oh, let me just ignore Tim's rules. Let me just hold these things. They're probably going to spike more later. I would be very careful with that. I really like selling too soon rather than overholding. But that means I also miss some plays. Oh, Terry says 120K, still holding the 70K. Okay, so 120K realized for Terry and 70K unrealized. So he's up 190,000. He's still the top earning inner circle student. And aside from just the money, he's also helping Stratty. Stratty is the lead trainer of the inner circle. And he's really, an invaluable asset to our community. We have so many great people in our community. Just shout out to Matt Monaco and Bryce for going live every day. Like, they're doing a great job. Jack Kellogg doesn't have to share his tips, but he does, and he's over 20 million. Do you filter your scans in a specific way? Listen to me. Everyone type this in. Say big percent gainers. Okay. Just look at the big percent gainers. Ignore all this fancy advanced hoopla BS. If you focus on the big percent gainers and you're watching them very often, guess what? You'll catch a lot of these plays early, like I did with Octo this morning. It's so funny with Octo. I was so proud of myself this morning because I was like, I'm buying at 5. Let me try to sell it in the 6s or the 7s. It goes up to like 580. I'm like, no, 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 no. I have to be patient. It goes up to 6. I'm like, no, 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 no. I have to be patient. It goes up to 650. I'm like, I'm out. That's as much as I can take. And then it goes to 80. So it's just funny. You can try to trade more aggressively. You can try to challenge yourself. I still have patience problems. Some people are like, Tim, you've been doing this 25 years. Don't you know any better? No, I don't. Like I said, I've been trading for 25 years, but I've been teaching for 15 years. And when I really started getting into teaching, my own personal education was like just held in check forever. I'm like a vampire. I'm like Kirsten Dunst in Interview with the Vampire. She was a little child. She got bit and she's a child forever. That's me as a trader. I am a child trader forever. Why? Because I just don't have time at all to go through all my necessary things that I should be doing to become a better trader. I'm too focused on you guys. And I really am proud of that. I'm not making excuses. I made a choice. Why use mental stops instead of hard stops in the market? Well, if I used a hard stop, the market makers would see it. And also, mental stops are like challenging because, it's up to you. You could break your own mental stop. So for me, it's like a discipline thing. I want to prove to myself that I'm strong enough to not get stubborn and just cut losses quickly. It's kind of like in bowling, right? Like when you have like the bowling in the kids' birthdays, in the 5, 6, 7 year olds, they put those, what are those things, those guardrails like in the gutter. So like the kid can barely hold the ball and he or she like bowls the ball. And because like the guardrails are in the gutter, there's no chance of it going in the gutter. So like the kid has to like make it. And that's good for kids. It's good for their ego, right? But real bowling, I mean, if you put too much spin on it, if you're off, I mean, you could just score a 0. There's no guardrails in real bowling. So hard stops are kind of like guardrails. And I think they're good. Like if you're a child trader, maybe I should use hard stops because I am a child trader. But I really like just testing myself. I like testing my resolve every day. When I'm wrong, can I cut losses quickly? Can I follow rule number 1? And if you have problems following rule number 1, then by all means use a hard stop, whatever works. Exactly, Andrew. That's what these geniuses fail to recognize. It's only a scam if you scam yourself by not learning. I agree. I get so many people saying it's a scam, and I always ask the conspiracy theories, like, what is the scam? Are my trades not real? Are my students not real? Is my charity not real? Because I can back up everything, and I'm just curious. And do you disagree with rule number 1 about cutting losses quickly? Do you disagree with my rule of like stop losses, mental stop losses? Do you disagree with taking singles? Do you disagree with my 7-step framework? Because I have like thousands of examples of everything that I say, and I never get, any answer. So it'd be nice if I had like a hater who would just come through with some answer. But that's the reality of not being a scam. Below deck too, like that's the thing. Like, I still made the trade on below deck. I had to call in the order on E-Trade, and I made roughly $70,000. They have it all filmed. They just didn't air it because I cut them short for the tip. So I had to be the douchebag. But I actually made 70 grand. It was basically a free yacht ride for my students and I. Pro made money off his courses. I do make money off my courses. I don't deny that. I'm a good ass teacher in an industry full of scams. I'm just going to be real with you. Some people are like, oh, you make money teaching. Whoa. Oh, I must be the devil. Oh, no, I'm making money on my effort where I'm putting in 16, 18 hours a day every day. Oh, God forbid I'm making money. I'm sorry. I didn't know there were communists everywhere. That's capitalism, baby. Okay. I make money off teaching because I'm a damn good teacher. If you want to judge me based on my teachings, look at my now 50 plus millionaire students, more like 70 plus, although some people don't want to admit it. I still get a kick with some of my millionaire students where they don't realize I have the early webinars. We've done video lessons together where they're like, thank you for these lessons. Thank you for these rules. I trade your 3 main patterns. And then they pretend like it doesn't exist. How do you compare to Ross? I don't know how many millionaire students he has. I don't think he has many or any. I see a lot of these chat rooms. It's just follow the leader. And it's like, okay, I'm buying this stock, I sold. I'm buying this low float stock, I'm buying, I sold. It's like 3 seconds or like a third of a second. Look, I know that there's a much bigger business for follow the leader type chat rooms and alerts rather than actual education. But I'm just focused on myself. I'm not worried about a lot of these follow the leader chat rooms. Perhaps that's probably why I have more successful students. You show Lambo's an expensive shit, but you paid for it with your courses. Well, first of all, I had my Lambo actually that I bought with my trading profits over a decade ago. Right now, FYI, I have no cars. I sold all my cars. And I actually, bought my later cars using the profits from the earlier cars. So, this is like what the haters don't understand. I actually made millions trading before I got started teaching. I was on a reality show. I realized that the whole industry full of frauds for teachers was open, full of opportunity if I could just be real, So all this hate about like, oh, why do you make money from teaching? I'm not embarrassed by it, but I think that if you're going to be a teacher, you have to provide value. And I provide more than enough value. I mean, literally 10,000 video lessons. No one has a library like that. Following, multiple strategies. If you want to short sell, a third of my video lessons are on short selling. Even if you're not short selling, I think it's good to learn from the enemy. I used to be the enemy. Perhaps that's why I'm good at spotting these short squeezes, because I'm just buying plays that I used to want to short. My hedge fund flop. Actually, my hedge fund finished up 2% per year over 4 years. I get these conspiracy theories all the time. I'm not saying my hedge fund was that good, but we actually finished up. No one was asking me to close it down, but I got into teaching because there was more opportunity. Everyone thought I was crazy when I closed down the fund and got started teaching. But now, 50 roughly millionaire students later, I've been proven right. You can Google this article. Reuters said, failed hedge fund manager tries again on the internet when I got started. I thank that reporter for giving me the fuel that's really powered me for the past 15 years. And I love like all these, conspiracy theories like, oh, you don't trade, you made money 25 years ago. FYI, my best trading years ever were 2020 and 2021. I made far more during COVID than I ever did when I had a hedge fund, when I even was trading with bigger capital. So stop with the lies and the conspiracy theories. J-Rad says, STT elite member, love the teachings. Good. Michael says, I have an idea how we connect. I run an AI site. Talk to me. TimothySykes.com/contact. I'm always interested in new tools, and I really think we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution. Randy says, ignore the haters. No, never. The haters fuel me. I miss having haters. I used to have a lot more haters before I started creating so many millionaires. But I still have a few. They think that like the charity's fake. They think that I'm giving money to the students. What was it? There's one conspiracy theory that my students are actors. I would hire better actors if I was going to hire actors as students. Why are the haters here? Because you have to understand, like, even haters are curious, just in the small chance that I'm real, because I actually am. Never forget, my first hater, Michael Good, wrote a whole blog post about me. Timothy Sykes is full of BS. I still remember it. You can still Google it. Michael Good, Goode. And we went back and forth in the comments because, again, he's like, oh, look at this guy, this DVD salesman. And I was like, well, the DVD is an easy way for me to teach my patterns. He became my first millionaire student. He was our first chat room moderator in the challenge. And he gave, 200-300 webinars too, before pulling back to spend more time with his family and just trade. But if you can turn your haters into millionaires, you're doing something right. So I still have hope for all my haters, C says, Stephen Ducks was successful before you got involved. This is another thing. Stephen Ducks, you can literally see the video lesson that we did together. He knew nothing about the market before me. And he used the 3 patterns that I taught him: the number 5, the dip buy; the number 4, shorting the first red day; the number 6, shorting the failed bounce. Those 3 patterns are what led to him making millions. So no, he didn't know anything before me. Tim Grittani didn't know anything before me. None of my millionaire students knew much. In fact, actually, Michael Good was a trader before me, but he had lost like 100 grand. So he needed help with risk management. So like, again, bring on the conspiracy theories. I can just cut through it like so easily. I get all these lies and assumptions, but guess what? I have the receipts, I have the video lessons, I have the webinars. People don't realize, like, literally we have all the archives where I used to think Stephen Ducks was a freaking scammer. I thought that he was like a hacker. He was on the site so much, and he gave webinars for the challenge saying how he's studying all the time, even while he's cooking, even while he's on the toilet. Like, people forget this stuff. I don't forget. Mitch says, I can probably name at least 30 individuals that have made $1 million, started with you and branched off. Yeah, I mean, look, not everyone has to follow my patterns for life. I'm just glad to share with what I've learned. I have no problem. I have, one of my students was a penny stock trader and he turned a crypto trader. He's made much more with crypto than all my stock trading combined. Carlos says, it's incredible that in the 15 years I've been following you, the comments from those that hate you are the same, and the success continues to speak for itself. I mean, it is what it is. People don't change. Haters don't change. I'm grateful. Did you get in on Octo? What made people make in a year? Oh, whoa, what is this? Boma Gums got into Octo, got in thanks to Stocks to Trade at 6, sold at 54. That's fantastic. That's what I love. Whether you doubled your money, tripled your money, 9 times your money, if you missed it and watched it go up, 15 times, it's the opportunity's there. Chris says, I'm in Sydney, have to stay up all night. Yeah, I mean, throw another coffee on the table, mate, right? It's rough. I gave a TED Talk in Australia, and that I gave probably like the worst TED Talk ever. And that was rough because of the time zone. Ignoring the junk trades comments. I don't even know. There's so many comments. Steve Johnson, I just saw him in Dubai. He was grateful for everything that I taught him. Like, if that's what you're talking about, I don't even know. Timothy, why don't you respond to me? I'm trying to respond to as many people. I don't think you guys realize there's literally like hundreds of comments. Some people are like, what about me? I'm also trying to watch the market. CIGL bouncing a little bit, but not much. HOUR not really bouncing. SNTG not bouncing. Octo trying to bounce a little bit, but I don't really want to buy stocks down 50%, especially when they're still up. I mean, Octo's up 2,800% on the day. That's crazy. Let me go into the challenge chat. Any questions in challenge chat? The challenge chat thinks I've left them. I'm sorry. I wanted to go live just during this mania, just to try to get you guys prepared. Let's see. Bino 1000 just took SNTG from the 7s to the 9s. That's good. Look, it's all about singles, guys. You don't have to, go for home runs. I got to give a shout out to Hertz. He's been a great challenge student, made 1,100 today. I think he made I want to say 14 or 15,000 last month. I think that was a record month for him. And $1,000 a day really keeps the job away. What do you recommend for people who have full-time jobs but want to trade? I mean, look, I started trading while I was in school. I took night classes in college, but in high school, I just skipped a lot of classes. Try your best, trade during the lunch break, trade before work. I don't think you go to work at 4 a.m. Eastern. And if you do go to work at 4 a.m. Eastern, you're probably done by 4 p.m. Eastern. So you can either trade pre-market or after hours. There's plays nonstop for you. My most successful strategy is my over the weekend strategy. So if you just want to buy a stock late on a Friday and then try to sell on Monday, that's been on fire lately. It's insane. You're the only trade teacher that is legit. Study you for years. A lot of people out there are teaching, but you're the OG. Oh, thank you. Look, I mean, there are a lot of people teaching, and I'm glad. Like the community, I think, is better than ever. But you do have to be careful. We've been in this bull market for a few years, so a lot of people think that they're really like geniuses, but they're really just in the right place at the right time. And when the market changes, as is inevitable, remember September is historically the worst month for crashes. October is number two. When we get a crash, a lot of the newbies are going to be exposed. I remember during COVID, even though I had, $1 million years, both in 2020 and 2021, a lot of newbies made more. They used leverage. They were buying shit coins. They were more aggressive than me. And they're like, Sykes, you're obsolete. You're a dinosaur. And I just stuck with what I was doing. I tried to be a little more aggressive, but I'm just not that great of a sizer upper, as I've learned. And they're gone now. And I keep going. So, you can always say that like there's new people popping up. But what I find is that new people, they're very narrow-minded. They oftentimes fall in love with their success, myself included. When I first made a few million, I thought I was God's gift and I didn't understand the risk reward or anything. Nan says, I lost the last 2 weekends. So did I. It's okay to lose. It's not about every single week. It's a question of how are you doing over 10 times, over 20 times, over 30 times. There was a streak that I just got over with where literally I had an average weekend winner of like 30% for like 7 weeks in a row. That's not normal. And now even my losses, I sold DUO too early last week and then it squeezed. And I took losses. And now CIGL, I just took a weekend, over the weekend loss on it, even though I made some late Friday, and then it squeezed later. So even when I'm losing, the plays are spiking like a few hours later. That's the market. Kirk said weekend alerts suck. I mean, look at my track record, Kirk. They don't suck. They're doing very well. I think the problem, though, is sometimes you do have to be willing to sell late Friday afternoon, Friday evening. We're getting a lot of after hours runners. And I gotta do better with that. I gotta accept the fact that like on CIGL, when I'm buying it at 4-ish and it spikes to 5:30, like that hit all my goals and more. And I tried to give it more time, but then it went down to like 350 before going to 7. So it's also, there's a lot of choppiness. I respect the fact that you're so transparent. Look, I lose all the time, but rule number one is I cut losses quickly. If you look at the new millionaire students like Stratty, he only wins 38% of the time. We're also there with Clay. He wins about 40% of the time. Clay is another millionaire student. Jack, Mr. $20 million, only wins about 50% of the time. You don't have to win 100% of the time. You have to control your losses. And your gains should be 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 times the size of your losses. But you see, like, look at some of these comments like, oh, these alerts suck. Oh, I lost 1 week. Oh, I lost 2 weeks. Like, you're not playing the game properly. Any play can be a loss. But if you lose 1%, 5%, 3%, 7%, that's fine. Then you have some plays like CIGL, which kept going, which actually doubled off its lows, I think, later today. What was CIGL's low? CIGL's low, it didn't do what I wanted near the market open or even pre-market. Yeah, so it got down to like 350, right? At like 7:15 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. It was like in the 360s. But at around 3:30 p.m., it got up to 750. So there was $4 a share of upside on my weekend play on CIGL. And I didn't sell it anywhere in the 7s or the 6s or even the 5s. So I didn't personally trade that great, but there was opportunity, but there was also a lot of choppiness. I don't regret cutting those losses. Rob says, if you win only 50% of the time, I bet it has to be a swing trade. I mean, I have day traders who win 50 or 40% of the time. It's not about how long you hold. It's how big are your gains compared to your losses. You can win 10% of the time and be wrong 90% of the time. If your wins are 20 times the size of your losses, your account still grows. That's the beautiful thing. Ever had a millionaire student that learns from your YouTube videos, but not your course? I mean, they usually start with YouTube just because they're free and people doubt that I'm real. So I have no problem with that. I've got 2,000 video lessons on YouTube, but really the best education is in the webinars, the live trading webinars. Jack Kellogg also gives weekly live trading webinars. I really think Terry will be a millionaire student coming from the inner circle because we're doing like quarterly meetups. We have so many great traders presenting in person. I mean, during the last inner circle, Alex Temiz joined us and he made 50,000 live while giving a speech about SBET. And he's like, yeah, just locked in 50,000. And it's like crazy once you see it in person. So I think it's good to start with YouTube, but if you're really going to be my next successful student, you got to get obsessed. My broker, Linda says, my broker offers an option to trade after hours. Are there different rules? Yeah, I would just be very careful. After hours is much more liquid. The plays are more volatile. There's opportunities, but it's also very scary. So pre-market and after hours is not for the weak. And if you do trade it, I would trade with extra small positions in the knowledge that things can get scary. Sent a question in challenge chat. Let me check challenge chat. I got to get going, but I'll answer a few more questions. What do you suggest a trader does when they have a bad trading day to get on track? Take a day off, paper trade, take 2 days off, trade with 1/10 size. I would not try to make back the losses right away. I had some dumbass losses in August and I just chipped away at those losses. I don't think that you're in the right frame of mind to trade big, and especially a play like Octo where it's so volatile. And if you're on the wrong side of it, or if you miss it, you're just going to get more angry. So I think you got to recognize that, you basically just had kind of like a breakup if you're on a bad streak or you had a big loss. And, what do you do during a breakup? You don't just be like, hey, I just got broken up. Who wants to get married? You got to take some time and collect your thoughts. Scott says lost $44 on OCTO before it ripped, to dip down and cut me out, was mentally out of it the whole day. So decided not to trade. Yeah. And that's the thing. Remember that though. Okay. You could get back in. I know the pattern day trader rule sucks sometimes. That's why Trade Funder is useful. But B, it happens. Everybody wants this to be perfect. Look at some of the negative comments where they're like, I lost. I feel like crap. I hate this. Because you're not doing it right. If I give the keys to my old Ferrari to a little kid and I don't give him any instructions and he crashes the Ferrari and he's like, oh, this Ferrari sucks. No, little kid, you suck. You shouldn't be driving a Ferrari, especially without instructions, or little kids shouldn't drive Ferraris at all. You got to play properly. You have to have the right perspective with the right rules, with the right framework. This is why I teach. It's very easy to get down in this game when the stock doesn't do what you want. Is it really profitable to trade? Yes, it's very profitable to trade. Again, if you do it right. If you do it wrong, you won't be profitable. And most people are so lost. I have so many newbies come to me and they're like, I know everything. I don't need your rules. And they're off about everything. It's crazy. Preston says, I've had some nice over the weekend trades, focused on consistency, managing risk rewards. Good. Bobby says, Tim is how I got into trading in 2018. What are your thoughts on trading the pre-market? I love it, Rob. I mean, you guys, this is on my YouTube channel. Watch my last 50 lessons. I think probably a third of them are on pre-market trades, just because that's where there's been a lot of opportunity. 4 to 7 a.m. I know many brokers don't trade during then. Get Interactive Brokers. I don't think they're a great broker, but they're open 4 to 7 a.m. I think Webull is too. I have to open an account there to try it. And then 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., we see a lot of plays. And lately, 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. has been the best. When it's 9:30 a.m. Eastern, a lot of these pre-market runners just stop or they go backwards. So I think you should be open to it. But again, recognize that it's more volatile and it's scary. So anyways, guys, I have to get going. I put in an hour. I wanted to, just get you guys focused. Tomorrow morning, wake up early if you can, because every single morning lately, there's been a big pre-market runner. And when you have a play like Octo today, that creates many more potential wannabe Octos for tomorrow. And, later this week, everyone will say, this is the next OCTO, even if it's not, but, things will start to run because of it. So it's a little after 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to try to go to bed early. I'm going to try to get up early tomorrow. I don't know. No promises, but plays galore. Congrats to so many of you on Octo. Even if you missed it, at least hopefully you saw it. Even if you didn't see it, hopefully you're watching this. You can watch this later. We're just going to keep, taking it supernova by supernova, trying to do your best, trying to learn. So I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. I got to freaking get some sleep and catch up on everything. I'm sorry I'm so behind. If you want Q&A, you're not talking to me on any platform. I don't manage money. None of my millionaire students manage money. There's a lot of imposters. I have no backup accounts. I look at the username carefully. If it's not exactly at Timothy Sykes, it's not me. There's no like Timothy Sykes 4372. There's so many imposters these days. It's sad. The only place I do Q&A is in my challenge webinars. Copy trading is a scam. Opening any of these shady crypto wallets is a scam. There's so many scams. And if you get scammed in crypto, I don't even know what to do because, it's just the Wild West. So be safe, trade stocks, capitalize on these supernovas. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow.